So I wanted to share my story with you and how I healed my physical injury in my right shoulder of tendinitis that had been going on for a good 4 to 5 months. And I healed it in a matter of a couple hours while swimming in the pool. And I want to share this with you because what I did is something you can do too. Now, the trauma happened in 2021, and it was just an unbelievable shit show of issues that happened and transpired that I did not get any justice in. And for a period of time, I was living in a significant amount of fear and basically trying to protect my life, like my life was being threatened. Fast forward to 2022, most of that is behind me, and I'm now back to training for my Ironman triathlon, but I cannot get over the tendinitis I have in my right shoulder, which I was blaming on swimming too much because I was trying to get back into the Ironman distance, because an Ironman race, it starts with a 2.5 mile swim. So I was swimming up to 2 miles, and I was having a really hard time getting to 2.5 miles. And I was just like, this shoulder tendinitis, man, this thing is terrible. It's killing me. And I was in pain. And in this particular swim, I was like, that's it. I'm quitting. I'm not doing Ironman. Like, wah, wah, wah. I was in pain, and I was complaining about it. So while I was swimming and complaining about being in pain, it clicked. Now, when you get that aha moment, when it clicks, and you realize your pain or your physical illness, whatever it is you're suffering from, is connected to a trauma, that is step one of your healing journey. That's where it begins. And that's where you can make that connection and start the healing process emotionally in your mindset, but also physically in your healing with your physical body. So once I made that connection, I got out of the pool and I took a minute to just breathe and reset my mind, because I was now going from, why am I injured and why won't this go away, to I now know why I'm injured and I know now why it won't go away. So I'm going to breathe into this and I'm going to shift my mindset and I'm going to heal. So I shook out my legs. I shook out my arms. I kind of stretched and, reached up and did full body stretches. I did some breath work. I just took a couple minutes. I got back in the pool. I started swimming, and now it wasn't about my swim. It wasn't about how many laps I was doing or my Ironman. It was about cleaning my energy, cleaning my physical body, cleaning my emotions. So when I was in the pool, and this is where you can take note, because there's a couple things you have to do. When you really truly want to meditate to heal, you have to let your guides know you're aware, and you have to ask. Acknowledge your guides, acknowledge your angels, your spiritual team. Even if you've never heard them or felt them, acknowledge them, because even though you're not hearing them or feeling them, or you're not sure who they are, it doesn't matter. They're there and they're waiting for you to talk to them. So let them know you want to heal. Truly, like, sit in your space and call yourself out on stuff that's happened to you, and call yourself out on why you're injured. Allow yourself to acknowledge that you were being a low mindset, or like in mine, I said, I'm sorry, I'm being an ungrateful asshole. That's what I said in my meditation. Meditation doesn't mean you have to sit there and speak biblical terms. You speak your mind and you speak your heart. So when I was in my meditation while swimming, I literally said, I'm really sorry, I'm being such an ungrateful asshole, but I really want to feel good. I'm sick of this shoulder, and I want to breathe, and I want to feel good, so that when I make a stride with my right arm, I don't feel pain. I am ready to release. And that's basically like the gist of what I said. So I told my guides, I'm ready. I want to feel better. Please take whatever energy is in my shoulder that's connected to this trauma that I'm having a hard time. Take it and give me peace. I am exchanging this trauma with peace. I want to feel peace. I'm ready. And then I let it go, and I swam, and in every stride, when I put my arm into the water, I felt like I told myself I was swimming through my peace. And so as my arm went into the water and I pulled and dragged to pull myself through the water, I visualized myself pulling my peace towards me. And as I exhaled, when I tipped up to breathe, I visualized myself breathing out toxins. The other thing I did is I visualized the water as healing white light, and I asked for cleansing of the water that I was swimming in. I even mentioned the chlorine, and I asked for the energy in the chlorine, that cleaning energy, to cleanse into my physical body and remove my injury. And the next thing I did, while I'm breathing through and pulling my piece towards me with my hand as I'm pulling the water under me to get my stride in my swim, I then sent love and compassion to the person who threatened my life. I told them that I understood why they were angry. I told them that I understood why they wanted to take my life, and I told them I was okay with that because they didn't know what they were doing. And I spoke to them as if they were a broken person that I had love and compassion for, even though there is no peace between us. I haven't seen them since, but I spoke to their higher self, their spiritual self, and I let them know that I understood their trauma and I understood why they tried to take my life. Even though what they did was wrong, I understood why it happened. And that was really hard to do, because I'm now making a connection with someone who threatened my life for 3 months and then tried to take it 3 months later on Mother's Day. Came into my home and tried to strangle me in my kitchen. And I talked to this person in love and compassion, which was very difficult to do, but I did. And as I did that, it brought through some emotions of both like sadness and fear. Like I could feel all that emotional purging as I was swimming, and at one point I had to stop because I had some tears. But it was a matter of making peace with what tried to break me. And that's where with yourself, with your injury, your physical symptom, whatever it is that's slowing you down and causing you pain physically, when you connect it to that trauma, you have to make peace with that trauma. And that's where so many people get stalled and they get delayed, because they aren't able to do that because their mindset is still in either like a victim state or why is this happening to me state, in some sort of unhealthy mindset that's not allowing them to see that peace has to be made between what tried to hurt you and where the trauma came from, and then also within yourself and how you reacted. And that's why you call on your spiritual team, because they're the ones that give you the ability to do that. While in that space, in that meditation, and making peace with what tried to break you or hurt you or what did break you and made you sick, they will open up that channel for you, because you've let them know you are ready to heal. You're ready to feel good again. You're ready to have your energy back. You're ready to be present in your space and live in your joy. When you do that, it's easier to make peace with what tried to break you, whether it's a person or an event or a time in your life that went on for years. You have to make peace with that. And it could be even yourself, that you were really hard on yourself. You did something in your life that allowed bad things to come to you, and you have to make peace with yourself with that and be okay with yourself that you truly allowed that and chose that to happen through how you were living in your life at that time, and that's okay. Make peace with it, and that will heal physically what you're going through. And so when I was in the pool, it took me an hour and a half. I ended up swimming 3.5 miles. I swam 5,500 yards in the pool. And my rule when I started my meditation, when I started this process, this healing, I said, I'm not getting out of the pool until my shoulder doesn't hurt. And what's so amazing about that is any shoulder would hurt after swimming that far. That would be normal. My shoulder felt amazing. I felt amazing. I felt like a new person. And I truly felt all those toxins connected to that trauma were gone, like 100%. So be forgiving of yourself and talk to your spiritual team and your guides and let them know you're ready to heal. You have to ask, and you have to let them know you're there and you're listening, and start the process of shifting in your mind where you want to go with that healing and why, and talk to that and speak that out, and it will heal you, I promise.